Today, I want to share why I chose not to use a traditional bar prep course while preparing for the California bar exam, and how that decision ended up working for me. 1. What bar prep courses are designed for. Most bar prep programs give you an ideal study schedule. Tons of lectures, thousands of practice questions, outlines, essays, PTs, you name it. And for many people, that's a great system. Passing the bar is a big deal, and studying as much as possible makes sense. But here's the thing. You don't actually need to master every single thing bar prep provides in order to pass. Many of us have jobs, family responsibilities, health issues, or simply limited time. And for non-native English speakers like me, reading, writing, and listening take longer, making it even harder to follow their perfect schedule. So if you can't keep up with the ideal plan, you're forced to use only part of the program. And in that case, the high price may not be worth it. 2. Why I skipped the video lectures. For some subjects, I had taken classes before. But for others, like business associations, wills and trusts, and community property, I knew nothing when I started studying in May. I literally learned that BA was a tested subject because a classmate told me. If English were my first language, I could have listened to lectures casually during my commute. But that wasn't my reality. To understand the lectures, I needed subtitles, vocabulary checks, and even GPT explanations. So a 1-hour lecture easily turned into 3 hours of study. And with my schedule, that was impossible. From my past exam experience, I already knew that lectures alone never produce the score I need. Without time to memorize and practice, lectures are almost useless. And because I didn't have enough time to study every issue anyway, half the lecture content would have been irrelevant to my strategy. My goal wasn't to write a perfect model answer, just a passing one. So I made the decision, skip the lectures. 3. Why I didn't use their outlines. I already had very short one-page outlines from my classes. Yes, the internet is full of detailed outlines, but my plan was simple. Memorize the truly important parts and fill in the rest using basic legal reasoning. The outlines I had were enough for that, so I didn't need bar prep outlines. 4. Why I didn't use their MBE questions. There are multiple online platforms offering large sets of MBE questions. With GPT to help translate and explain, those platforms were far more convenient for me. Bar prep companies also include their own drafted questions, but with my limited time, even mastering released MBE questions was already a challenge. I knew I wouldn't have the capacity to handle everything they provided. So again, no need for bar prep. 5. Why I didn't use their essay program. In an ideal world, you'd master all the released essays and then practice predicted ones. But my reality was very different. Right up until the exam, I only had time to write or outline 3 to 5 released essays per subject. For grading, GPT gave me instant feedback, simple or detailed, whatever I needed. And if I wanted extra practice, I could just ask GPT to generate new essay questions. Bar prep model answers were also not useful for me. They were far above what I could realistically write, not just in legal knowledge, but in English ability. I knew they would only discourage me. Instead, I asked GPT, take my answer and improve it by adding the issues I missed. That gave me a model answer just 1 or 2 steps above my real level, and that was perfect for learning. 6. Why I didn't use their PT materials. I practiced PTs only twice. For the same reasons as essays, released PTs were enough for me. I didn't need a perfect model answer. GPT feedback was fast, specific, and actually better suited to my situation. Closing. So that's why I chose not to use a bar prep course. It wasn't because bar prep is bad. It's actually great for many people. But for my situation, my background, my time limits, and especially the fact that English isn't my first language, a selective and AI-assisted study method made far more sense. And in the end, that approach worked. If you want me to share my full study schedule, the exact tools I used, or tips for non-native speakers preparing for the California bar, let me know in the comments.